And I went to go open the door to leave the house, and I had my hand on the door handle, and I could not physically open the door. It wasn't just like I couldn't open it, it was just like a mental barrier of just like, no, you're not leaving. And I think I then spent about 2 months locked in my room. Like, I was just done. I think it had all caught up on me. Like, all the trauma of just, like, you're good, you're healthy, you're really bad again. You're good, you're healthy, you're really bad again. It had all caught up, pretty much. And that was just right, nah, we're not doing this anymore. So I literally went to bed, woke up at 5, packed a rucksack full of some clothes, and I remember throwing the rucksack in the boot of my car, and my mum coming to the front door like, where are you going? You're not working today, are you? And I was like, oh no, I'll wait to London, I'll see you later. And just drove off. This is now maybe, let's say, 7 o'clock in the evening. I'm sending a selfie standing next to Big Ben like, I'm in London.
Hello, and welcome back to the Idiots Anonymous podcast. Although this week we've got a bit of a change of pace, and you'll find out in a minute. So I'll start off and introduce myself. I'm Ryan, and I'm an idiot.
Oh, it's a bit early on that one. Hi, Ryan.
I'm an idiot because a couple of weeks ago I tried to make salt and chili chips because my dad got an air fryer for Christmas from me. And I was like, oh, this is going to be class. I'm going to make homemade chips, salt and chili chips. So I emptied like a shit ton of salt into like the frying pan, cut up like 7 chilies. And I don't know how many chilies go into salt and chili chips. And put in some like chili flakes and this like chili powder that my dad had got maybe like 4 or 5 years ago from an unknown source. Dished it up to the whole family, and everyone was almost crying of how hot it was. And it really damaged my self-confidence because now I know I'm a terrible cook.
So you poisoned your family, did you?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at least you didn't poison everybody for like a Christmas dinner. It wasn't a big event or anything, so I mean...
Yeah, it was a little bit after Christmas. So.
Yeah, so you're good, you know?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Rory, and I'm an idiot.
Hello, Rory.
So I'm an idiot because when I was making a table for my flat, I wanted to add these little decking lights into it. And rather than do it outside or do it before I moved, I cut the holes or drilled the holes while I was in my flat, and all the little kind of wood chips and bits just got stuck in the rug, and they got so embedded in the rug that 3 years later they were still there. No matter how many times I hoovered, I couldn't get rid of these bits of wood.
Did you try to like chucking it out the window and like shaking it around out the window?
I tried everything. Hoovered it, I went full Fight Club on it. It didn't work. Nothing was getting these wood chips out. So eventually I just got a new rug, and that's where I am today.
Rug waster.
Yeah, I'm a rug
that's
waster.
Climate change.
Wasting the environment, man.
Yeah.
What's a waste?
Yeah, so downright idiotic. So perfect story.
Qualified. Yep.
I guess I'll go. So, hi, I'm Ross, and I'm an idiot.
Hello, Ross.
And the reason I'm an idiot is I stupidly volunteered to work in Brexit.
Yeah.
That's my big idiot move. I don't know why I decided that, but hey ho, I'm here now.
You gotta take a risk in this life, eh?
Yeah, the biggest risk in the jobs landscape right now, and I just went, yeah, you know what, fuck it, let's do it.
So you are single-handedly holding the trade market of the UK on its feet. Or the fish,
try.
at least.
I try. A lot of sleepless nights. A lot. If you find at any point during this, like, my vocabulary or English doesn't make sense, it's like I'm slurring words, it is because, like, I haven't slept. That is the main reason.
You're giving your life to the cause.
Life to the cause. For the fish.
So noble.
For the fish.
More fish.
For the fish.
So, Ross, thank you so much for coming on.
No worries.
Just a bit of background. Ross and I went to school together. We weren't really that close in school, and we sort of reconnected afterwards, a couple of years after, because it turns out we now live in the same street.
Yeah, never knew. Never knew.
We never knew.
Moved next to each other in like third year or something like that at high school, and then all of a sudden it was like 4 or 5 years later. It's like, wait, you stay down there? But what the fuck?
I stayed down there.
You only stay like a couple of doors down for me.
Oh, do you
So
want to
then
be friends?
it was like the ultimate convenience for just like nipping over for a pint on a Friday.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day when you were allowed to leave your house and have fun.
Or if you were going for your 1 hour's exercise and you just decided, like, I'm going to walk by this house with 3 cans in my pocket.
Because yeah, that was last summer, the first lockdown. It was like May, June, when things were opening up a little bit, but you were still. Yeah, this is when you were just allowed one exercise a day.
You weren't,
So
nothing
then-
was open yet. You weren't allowed to
That's
leave.
right,
Nothing. You had
yeah,
1 hour
yeah.
of exercise.
And so Ross would come, he would like walk round the street as his exercise, and he would just stop at the front of my house.
Because I
Just
mean,
pull
it
out
is like
some-
a solid 5 minute walk, and that is speed
Yeah.
walking pressure. I mean, you're carrying a heavy load there of about 4 tins.
Four cans of beer. You sit out at the bottom of the driveway. I just came out and sat on my steps, and it was like being at a bar, you know?
Yeah.
And that was when the days were longer as well, so you could do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you could sit out all night and just sit there and nobody would care.
And so last year during summer, we were chilling in my garden, and you were sort of telling me this story, sort of through your initial experience being diagnosed with Crohn's disease.
Yep.
How that affected you, your time in school, the crazy adventures that you went on. There's one about the time you went to London that I'll let you tell later on.
Oh, Jesus. That's why exactly before we started this podcast, it was let's just do a brief like introduction of like 10 seconds of why you're in it. I'm like, my stories don't add up to 10 seconds.
Yeah, you have got a lot, don't you?
Mine's don't add up to 10 seconds, and they always end with like, how the fuck did that happen? Or how were you alive? That is
Yeah,
usually how
exactly.
it ends.
And more importantly, like how you overcame this, and you know, I remember there was a semi-happy ending, I think. I hope so.
Well, I'm still
So,
standing, so I mean, I'll take
still
that as a
standing.
success.
Yeah. So I thought this was an absolutely fantastic story for a podcast. So that's why I invited you on today. So why don't we start by you sort of introducing yourself, and when you first started encountering problems and what was going on in your life, really.
Alright, so what age would I have been then? I would have been probably 13. So we're talking like 13 going 14, so we're talking like beginning of second year probably at this point in high school.
Of high school?
Aye, in high school. Second
Okay.
year of high school. Literally, I had no symptoms, nothing, and I woke up one morning and my full right leg was in excruciating pain. Like, I could not move, I could not sit up. If I tensed my abdomen to sit up, full leg went into so much pain, I was just screaming in pain. Like, I could not walk.
Wow.
It was that bad.
Overnight?
Overnight.
Just for no
Did
reason?
not,
Yeah.
Did not do anything the night before, didn't play football, I didn't do anything. I literally just woke up and my leg was in excruciating pain. I could not move. I had to get my mum to literally like carry me, which is the most funny sight on the planet because I'm 6'2" and she's about 5'3". So imagine her like carrying me down to the doctor's surgery for them to go, it's just growing pains, you're fine, it's growing pains, you'll get over it. You'll get over it. Here, take a bunch of ibuprofen and cocodamol. You'll be absolutely fine. Turns out that is the
Cocodamol,
worst thing they could have given me on the planet. That was the worst thing they could have done.
Does
That was.
affect it quite a lot? Stuff
Oh
like
man, so like, well, Brufen, you're not even. You really shouldn't take Brufen whatsoever. It destroys your gut. It destroys
Ah.
it. It's terrible for you. Great painkiller, but it destroys your insides. It's like one of those painkillers you just shouldn't take.
And so, do you want to sort of explain what Crohn's disease is and why destroying your gut is so bad?
So basically, I was getting confused between Crohn's and colitis, but basically it's like the lower intestine of like your bowels, for example, becomes so badly flared up, and basically the white blood cells in your body start attacking all the good blood cells, and basically your body thinks it has something wrong with it when really it doesn't. So it starts attacking anything in your body, pretty much thinking, oh shit, that muscle's got damage to it, let's repair it. And it's like, wait, the muscle's absolutely fine, why are you doing this? Like, stop. So eventually, like, for 3 years straight, I'd wake up one morning, my leg would be in that much pain, I'd get flung back onto so many painkillers and then be in crutches, like couldn't walk. The pain would be excruciating just getting out of bed, and then all of a sudden my 15th birthday, woke up, everything was fine, went to the shops, came back, and literally I my full body just went, no, fuck this, we're shutting down today, shut the shop, this is it. So yeah, as I was saying, like my lips went blue, no colour, couldn't eat, nothing. My chest was in like so much pain, like around my heart, I couldn't walk. Then I went into
Your heart wasn't.
Yeah, my heart
You
was
were
in
getting
pain as
pains
well.
in your heart.
Yeah,
Oh
my
my
heart was
God.
in like so much pain. Like it honestly felt like there was somebody sitting on my chest.
Oh man.
Like I couldn't breathe. It got that bad. So I whisked into hospital, got into A&E, said to the wee lady at reception, she didn't take it serious. I was like, I just sit and wait.
They never do. They
Wow.
never do.
Literally get whisked into the wee like cubicle, got the full like stickers on you for an ECG, and about a quarter of the paper came out, and the wee nurse just sprinted out the cubicle and grabbed about 8 doctors.
What's an ECG?
So it's like it reads like your I think it's like your heart beating, stuff like that, like how your
it's like
heart's
a
beating
rhythm.
and stuff.
Okay.
So basically you just get like loads of stickers attached to your chest and stuff like that, and cables attached to it, and that's how they tell
okay.
like
Yeah,
how
yeah.
fast it's beating, is it irregular, what's up with it. And literally a quarter of the paper came out, and usually they get about 3 sheets of A4 paper out of this thing, and I got like a quarter out, and she just sprinted out the room, and me and my mum just looked at each other like, that's not normal, is it? And then all these doctors came in rushing in, and next thing you know I was on morphine. I was like, holy shit, what? And next thing you know, I remember waking up and I was in a kid's bed, because obviously I was only 15, so I got put in the kids ward. So
right.
I woke up and my legs were dangling out the bottom of the bed because it was that
you're so
small.
tall?
Yes,
Yeah.
the full bed was that small. But my mum and dad say literally I was like singing Bob Marley and everything, because I was out my tits. I was gone. I was so badly gone. And for about the next 3 weeks, that was just a constant battle of like, what is wrong with me? Like, to this day, they class it as Crohn's but cannot figure it out.
Yeah.
So that was like a constant for like 2 solid weeks of no school. And I think at that point, we were about a week away from sitting our third year exams.
Okay.
Like all the units that you sit at the end of the year, everything. So
Yeah.
I missed out on all that. I had to do them all by myself in like a classroom by myself at the end of the year for every subject.
Wow.
So it wasn't so from first year is first symptoms, and then third year was like actually close to some sort of,
Yeah, so like
I don't
first
know,
year was
idea
like
of what's going on,
no symptoms
rather
really,
than just
nothing
here's
really
some
bad.
painkillers,
And then
bug off.
third year it just went to shit.
yeah.
And it was like, yeah, could barely move, breathe. Because by the end of it, they decided that I had like a small minor, what they thought was like arthritis in my hips. They
Okay.
then said the lower intestine and bowels were just completely destroyed. They were going to take years to heal. And the small muscle below my heart had become so badly inflamed that it was causing like an irregular heartbeat.
Oh, and that's hella
Wow.
dangerous.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
and so all those different symptoms in all these different parts of your body,
Relate to your gut.
right? So that this is like basically the signals being sent that there could be something wrong with these areas, and so your
So
blood cells are
even it's
attacking
not
them
even
for
it's
no
not
reason.
like there's nothing wrong with those areas. It's literally just my body has just decided like, oh fuck, there's something wrong up there. There's nothing wrong. So my body just created problems that didn't need fixed.
Right. Okay.
So like for example, my heart, there was nothing wrong with my heart in the first place. There was absolutely nothing wrong, and then my body just created the problem.
yeah.
And there's still no thing going like, oh that triggered it. Oh that was it. It's like I can't pinpoint anything. I really can't.
And so what happened next after you sort of went through this 3-week period? You had to sit all these exams in third year by
Sat all
yourself.
my exams by myself, got to summer, and then at this point when you come out of something like that in hospital, you're put on like so much medication. Like I was given an injection to take once a week. I was given about 20 small tablets of steroids to take a day, and about 4 other tablets. One was a meprazole and I can't remember the other ones. But when you're put on any form of prednisolone, steroids, you want to eat like a motherfucker. It is so bad how much you want to eat. It is
Okay.
insane. So literally I just did kind of like stereotypical, but I thought, you know what? it was the first time in my life, because my body couldn't withhold anything, I actually became really skinny, and I'm not a skinny person. So I became really skinny, and I thought, I'm going to take advantage of this. I'm going to go to the gym. And I did. I started the gym for like a solid month, and I seen the benefits of it. But the problem was when we got to September that year, so think about it, exams are finished, summer, hit the gym, September, I was back in square one all over again. Full flare up, and it just went back to square one. So couldn't breathe, couldn't move, everything for the square. And this would repeat itself for about every 4 months.
Wow.
So every 4 months you'd be ahead of yourself, and then bang, you're back to the start. So it was like, school was nothing. I was never in school. From like 4th year to 6th year, my average attendance each year was like 15 to 20%. It's like I was never there.
Yeah. I distinctly remember from, up until like 4th year, and then all of a sudden like you disappeared.
I was never there. I'd appear for like 5th and 6th period after lunch, because that was the only time of day I was like, okay, my body's calmed down enough now, I can actually make it.
Yeah.
So it was a constant like battle, just right, okay, study for home, come in, do a end of unit test, then you're off again for so many weeks. So it was just constant.
Was there any kind of like, from the first one, any sort of like signs that it was going to happen again, or was it just the same as the first time, where it just all of a sudden you woke up
it was like pain? You felt a wee bit ill, like you thought, my stomach feels a wee bit dodgy, but it's that way you're like, I just ate something stupid last night, that'll be fine. And then it builds a wee bit, then all of a sudden your leg starts to get sore, and then all of a sudden your chest gets weak, so and you're going, oh no, hold on a minute, this is coming back. Like I remember one time in PE, we were all playing football, and I was never the fittest, for example, but I could run a wee bit, but I was never the fittest. And then all of a sudden, like my full chest just like collapsed in itself. It honestly felt like a 25 stone man had just like stood on my chest. So I had to like lie down at the side of the pitch, and I was like, this is not right. So it was like, that happened again, back to square one, back in the hospital. So it was just a constant battle to even have what was normal in life at this point. So basically from the ages of 13 to 19, I did not have any form of normality whatsoever.
Yeah, because anytime you tried, it would just be bang, straight back into the hospital.
Straight back to normal, and it was straight back to what I classed as normal, which is a hospital bed. Like I knew all the nurses on first name basis.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to like work on stuff, or is it like that uncomfortable that so you can't really focus on much?
Like there'd be spells, like literally leading up to exams, that's when I really did just be like, right, okay, I'm not going into school, but I'm just going to smash my way through these textbooks and just learn as much as I can.
Yeah.
And that's where like I kind of laugh right now at this whole exam system that they've got for COVID. I'm like, this is kind of what I did when I was like really ill.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I was never in school, and I just learned it off at home and did the exam, and I still did quite a lot better than most people that attended like full time. Like, the exam system's flawed if you think about it. If you're thinking it's just like, flawed now, you're not really thinking.
Exactly, that sort of highlights it, doesn't it? It's like if these kids go to school every single day, I mean, like me, my attendance was really, really high. And then if you take your exam grades compared to people who attended school every single day, like there's not really much difference there, you know?
Somebody, my chemistry class said that I came in, did a unit test, went home. I never came back for the results pretty much, and I got about like, I think I got about 90 out of 100 or something like that, like correct. Mm-hmm. And I was like the only one in the class who passed the test. Everybody there was there full time and failed. And
so it actually benefited you to not see the teacher.
Yeah, she literally turned round to the full class and she honestly did like, how the hell did that happen? Like, he's never here and yous all failed. What am I doing wrong? Like, what happened here? Like, what happened? He passed and yous all failed. What the fuck happened? Literally, she couldn't say it that way, but that's what she was saying to these people in her classroom. Like, what am I doing wrong here? Can you please explain? Do you remember when we did the prelims in 6th year? It was like, that year the mass hire was like supposed to be impossible. Like, they literally turned around and said, this isn't, but I passed the higher mass prelim and I was never there. I passed it and I was never there. But I literally got to February and I just went, you know what, stuff this. I'm not doing this anymore. So I left without any hires whatsoever. I just didn't want to do it anymore.
So it got to like the February before, like school usually finishes in what, like June?
June, yeah.
Yep. And so it got to February and you just decided,
I
no,
was done.
I'm just not going back.
I was done.
And so what did you do then?
I literally, between February and June, I just worked out. That was it. I chilled and worked out. It was like the one time my body was healthy. Like I'd went so long a period and I was like, wait, my body's actually feeling good right now. So I want to kind of enjoy this. So I just said, look, I'll go to college in August. I'll do it. But right now I want my time back. I've not had any of my teenage years. Like, see all these years where everybody was out at the weekends to parties, whatever. I couldn't do it. Like, they told me when I was on this medication, you're not allowed to drink alcohol. Don't even think about it. It'll destroy your body. So while everybody was having fun and all this, going like, oh, I've just turned 18, let's go into town, let's go mental. I was like, well, I can't really. I'm not supposed to.
Yeah.
So I literally just took 4 to 6 months off to myself, worked out, chilled out. I was actually going on like 10-mile walks each day, just plug on podcast and just go. That was it. And then eventually in June, I got my first job when I passed my driving test, and that was me. I just started working pretty much ever since.
And so from that point, have you had any flare-ups or what happened after that?
I've had the odd flare-up, but it's never been as severe.
Never been that bad?
I've had ones where it's like, right, hold on, I'm not getting out of bed today. This is bad. Like, I can't move.
Yeah.
I've had that, so it's just been like my stomach, and it's been like, I am not going anywhere if there is not a toilet within 5 steps of me right now. Not a chance. Like, if you want to clean
brutal,
it up,
man.
that's fair enough. You can do it, but I'm not walking outside.
Batten down the hatches and prepare.
Yeah, it is literally
Yeah,
just like,
that must be so restricting.
keep me on top. Like, no word of a lie. Like, my confidence became so low because of stuff like that literally, see, before I'd go anywhere, I had a map in my head of where the nearest toilet was at all times.
Yeah.
Like, that's the type of thing I had to think about. Like, okay, I'm going to Hamilton. I'm like, okay, I can go to the Asda, I can go up to Marks and Spencer's, I can go down to McDonald's, here, there, and everywhere. I was like, I know where a toilet is. And if I didn't, my like anxiety went through the roof. Like, if I couldn't access a toilet, I was like, I'm not going there.
No,
It's not happening.
That's mad, mate. I think we'll take a break, then we'll continue where we left off.
Yeah.
But first of all, we've got the first segment, which is going to be run by our beautiful, gorgeous assistant, Rory.
Me!
Over here.
I feel like you like anticlimaxed that there. It was like, beautiful, gorgeous assistant. Really?
Oh, I guess it's Rooney. I've been described by many as alright. So for our first segment, I thought for quite a fun game to play was, I'm going to call it, What's That Noise? So essentially, I'm going to try and make a noise through this mic of an object, and you need to tell me what that noise was. So I'll turn off my video.
Oh, so you're going to turn off your video and then just like hit stuff and whatnot?
I'm not going to hit stuff. I'm going to make like a noise that is recognizable, and I'm going to hope that Zoom lets that noise go through, and then you can tell me what I just did.
Ah, okay, right.
Alright, that's
fine.
interesting.
Right, okay. I'm going to try and do the first one, and I hope Zoom's filters don't block out. Okay?
Okay.
Listen very carefully.
Can't hear it.
Oh, what?
That,
Okay. That one's gone poorly then.
There'll be somebody listening to us like, I know what that was.
I know they went. I'll try a louder one then. Right.
That's
ready?
paper.
Nah, that sounded like a plastic bag. That was a 5p bag. That wasn't a bag for life, that was a 5p bag.
I'm about to do it, right? Let me.
Okay,
Right.
okay. What the? Do it again? We didn't hear that.
Was it a
Do that
biscuit
again.
because you could only take one bite out of it?
It's not a biscuit, but it is a food item.
Ah!
Jesus. It's a vegetable?
It's
Did you just
not
take a bite out of a
vegetable.
carrot?
No.
So, think of something you wouldn't eat raw. But I've just
Ate
eaten
it
raw.
Is it an onion?
Oh,
It's not an onion.
Damn it.
Then it's not vegetables.
It's not vegetables, no.
Can you take another bite?
Yes.
Is it safe for you to take another bite?
I don't imagine it's the best for you, but I don't think it's dangerous. Right, ready?
Uh-huh. What the
That sounds like it's destroying your teeth, man. What the hell is that?
What?
It's not very comfortable, I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, it sounds really hard.
Okay,
what do you think?
Ah.
so it's a food item that's hard to begin with, but when you cook it, it's soft.
Oh, it's spaghetti.
I'll give you that. It's pasta.
Yeah.
Just taking bites of pasta.
Jesus.
It's going to destroy my internals, but it was loud enough so you could hear it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do item 2.
This is like ASMR hell. This
Oh,
is
it's
if you want to torture someone in the gulag, this is what you do to them.
Right. I'm hoping it's going to let me do this one because it'll be quite quiet.
Okay. Ooh.
That
you're
should
pressing
turn a button on and off or something.
So
Has
it's
to be.
a type of button.
It's
Is this a button to your private pleasure toy?
No, I keep that well hidden.
Okay.
no, that one's remote controlled. It doesn't have a button.
That one's on his phone, you don't hear it going off.
Yeah. Is it like the clicky down thumbstick on your controller?
It is 100% the clicky down thumbstick on my controller.
Oh yes.
Ryan, you played too many games.
That makes so much sense now when I hear it. That makes so much sense.
Brilliant.
Okay, I was going to do 3, and since the first one is too quiet, I've come up with an improv 2-1. Are you ready?
Okay.
That's bottle caps.
As ball cap, can you guess what it was a bottle of?
Beer.
Stella.
It's bang on Stella. Did you see me drinking that?
You've drank too much beer.
I like how I did that and then immediately did like the Homer Simpson, like, woo!
Yeah!
Ross can identify all the bottle caps and the sound they make from all
Sound
the
of
different
it.
types of beer.
That's bad. Wait, so really before this started, when I said we introduce each other like an AA meeting, this is a secret AA meeting, isn't it? That's what this
Oh,
really
yeah, it's
is.
100% what you're here for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Podcast was a ruse.
Podcast rules. This is an AA meeting.
That's class, mate. Is that them? Is that all the questions?
Yeah. So the first one I tried to do was a yogurt, and I tried to do the noise of the opening. But Zoom was like, nah, I don't think so, mate.
Yeah, it didn't work.
But yeah,
Okay.
You got all 3.
Hell yeah, we are like auditory masters. That's why we're doing a podcast.
Yeah, you got the game one and the drink one instantly, but not the pasta one, which makes you think you're addicts, but not the good kind.
Anyway, so where did we leave off? So Ross, you started your first job, and then so one thing that really that I admire about you is the way that you sort of outlook life. So you've told me before your outlook on life has been shaped by this experience you've had with Crohn's disease or undiagnosed
100%.
crazy degrees. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because for example, as much as I've described like all the physical stuff there, the mental side of it is 100% so much worse. So much worse. Like, we'd finished New Year holidays and we were due to come back in January, like 6 or something like that. And like back in my old house, my mum and dad would like leave well before me before I went to school. So I locked up the house in the morning. And I went to go open the door to leave the house, and I had my hand on the door handle, and I could not physically open the door. It wasn't just like I couldn't open it; it was just like a mental barrier of just like, no, you're not leaving. And I've never experienced anything like that. I still don't understand it to this day. I was like, you're not leaving, not a chance you're leaving this house. Like, no way. So I literally tried for about a solid half hour, even 4 minutes. I can't leave. She's like, what the hell are you talking about? And I was like, I cannot open the door. Like, this just isn't happening. And I think I then spent about 2 months locked in my room. Like, I was just done. Like, I'm not leaving the room.
Yeah.
And that was about probably the start of like, all my mental side of things, to be honest. I think it had all caught up on me. Like, all the trauma of just, like, you're good, you're healthy, you're really bad again. You're good, you're healthy, you're really bad again. It had all caught up, pretty much. And that was just right, nah, we're not doing this anymore. And honestly, God knows how I actually got out of that mindset of, like, I'm going to leave my room. I don't actually know how. I don't know how I managed to get out of it.
Was that all to do with like the up and the down, or did did life in school change at all? Like, did anyone react to you differently?
Life in school, everything sort of changed. Like, I was not known by anybody, and then all of a sudden it was like I was kind of branded, if you know what I mean. It's like, oh, he's the kid with Crohn's. It's like you're kind of branded as something, if you know what I mean. It wasn't anybody bullying you or anything, but it was like, you're now branded. And like, that's what people know you for. And I'm like, that's not what I want to be known for, to be honest.
Yeah, because it's not you.
No, it's not me 100%. It's not me. And it was a weird feeling. About a good tour. Probably since then, I've had about 2 or 3 episodes where it's been like, right, this is severe mental health breakdown. This is bad. Like, this is close to like one wrong move here, and this is lights out. I'm not seeing tomorrow. Like, type of bad. That's how bad it got. Because really, it was like pressure. It was like, okay, I've just got to find the pressure to wake up in the morning to like feel healthy, go to school, pass all the exams, because you know what it's like in high school. They bombard you saying, if you don't go get a university, master's, bachelor, whatever degree, you're a failure. Like, that's how they teach you in school.
That's what they say. Yep,
you're a failure.
It's drilled into you.
It is drilled into you. If you do not get a job that pays you like 150k a year, you get a full-on degree, everything. If you're not the CEO, you're a failure. So it was like, holy shit, there's so much pressure right now to actually do this. So eventually it was just like, right, my body's, I'm done. No, I'm not doing this. Like, this is pointless. This is not how life should be. So I just stopped.
How did you get out of that? Was there a turning point after that where
the first one, honestly, the first turning point was honestly, and this is where it gets as dark as it gets, was just like failed suicide. That was honestly the turning point of like, right, okay, we can't get lower than this. We've hit rock bottom. We now have to start going forward again.
Yeah. And so did that sort of flick a switch in your brain to try and,
like, in high school, at that point, it flicked the switch of like, okay, see, if I'm not going to attend school full time, I'm at least going to be home, and I'm going to smash these exams. I don't care. Yeah. And like, I get the motto thrown at me of like, all right, if you're not feeling well, at least try go in the morning or try go in the afternoon. Just show face. Just show face and show that you've showed up for the day and tried. So like, there'd be days where I'd only come in for like the last class of the day, or I'd come in for the first 2 and then go home. I wouldn't even say to the teachers or anything like, I'm not feeling well, I'm going home. I'd just walk out. Like, I'd get to like first break or lunchtime of the day and I'd just like, yeah, see you later, I'm going home. Like, that's it. I'm not explaining why, I'm just leaving. I got me in so much trouble doing that. Way too much trouble.
I remember back when we were in high school, things were a lot more lax in terms of, you could potentially just walk out the front door, walk back in the front door. You could go for a driving lesson in the middle of the day and come back, and no one really knew that you were gone. No one knew you were gone. But nowadays, like, it's like a prison.
If I tried to do that today, no chance.
I saw someone.
There'd be police out searching for me and everything.
I saw someone post. Remember when you used to? Someone had to go hand in the register because you couldn't do it over the computer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if back in that day you could just go, I'll just tick him off there, shall I, before handing that in? My mate's definitely in.
And I think honestly, people actually did start to do that for me at one point. It's like, yeah, he's not having a good. Just write his name down. It's okay. Like, just leave it as that. He's here. He's somewhere in the building. We know that much. He's somewhere.
And so you started getting better. You were out exercising. You got your first job. The September after high school. And then so what I'm trying to ask is, going forward from these experiences, tell us about, how you went to work, and then you had this new outlook on life where you just wanted to just be spontaneous. Because if there's one thing about you, it's like, if someone asks you, do you want to go skydiving tomorrow? You're the kind of person who would say yes.
I will like make a note to work saying like, my out of office would literally be nowadays like, sorry, not in today, please call such and such, I'm away skydiving for the day. Nice. And that's literally what it would be like.
And so going forward, how did things get better?
I think it got better because so I dropped out of school and I always had that mindset of like, I'll go back to college, I'll get a degree, whatever. So I went to college and I gave it a bash, and I was like, this is school.
This is a good one.
Again.
I remember this story. Something happened at college, didn't it?
Was this
Yeah.
his first or the second time? Well, depends what times I went. I went twice. First time, it was just a case of like, I can't be arsed with this. This is school all over again. So I tried to do IT. I tried to do like software engineering, and don't get me wrong, it's interesting. I loved it. It was great, but I was like, I don't want to be stuck behind a desk. Like, this is school.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this again. I just got out of this hellhole. I'm not doing this again. So I left, and then I started working like crazy. This is when like I started picking up the work ethic of just like, right, okay, any shifts going? Like, yeah, but it's like 14 hours. Like, yep, give me it, I'll do it. So I would spend my days working, and then that day off, I'd just go crazy. I'd just be like, right, who's coming with me? We're going up Loch Lomond. Don't care why, we're just going. It's just like, we're going somewhere, that's it. Then the second time, I tried to do car mechanics, and there was this kid getting bullied, and I couldn't stand it anymore. So I picked up a wrench, and I decided I was going to batter the bully with the wrench. But before I hit him, I stopped, obviously, and I get pulled up, blah, 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 and I get told, like, yes, I obviously kind of have to get rid of you here because you've just tried to assault somebody. I know why you did it, but you kind of need to go. And I was like, okay, understood. Then I just walked out. I was like, great, fine, cool, I've gone. But that's where the whole spontaneous thing came about. I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm not going to sit and not waste my time. Like, I admire anybody, like what you guys have done, can sit and honestly get the degree and put in all the hard work for it, but it just was not for me. I could not sit and do it. I had to sit and be like, right, okay, I'm only going to be 19 once. I'm going to go crazy here. I'm going to go enjoy this. It would literally be like the London story happened was, I was in work, so I did a 2 till 10, and then I realised, I went, shit, this is Thursday, and I've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. Oh shit, I've got a long weekend. And this never happened. I only ever used to get like 1 day off a week, and I'd work like 12-hour shifts, and I was like, oh shit, I've got 4 days here. What do I do? I was like, alright, okay, I'll figure it out when I wake up tomorrow. So I went home, I had a few beers, we're now talking, I went to bed, say maybe 1 o'clock, probably a wee bit too steaming to be honest. Then I woke up about 3 o'clock. You know, you wake up after being steaming and you're like, holy fuck, what happened there? I'm so dehydrated. But it's like, you've only woke up like 2 hours after you've been asleep. Like, you somehow randomly wake up and you're like, whoa, how the fuck did I get here? And I looked at my phone and there was a random email, and it was my travel lodge, and they're like, thank you for booking your hotel in Fulham, London. And I was like, what? I booked a hotel in Fulham, London. I went, no, this is a scam. That's a scam. I looked on it and I went, that's 70 quid there. That doesn't look like a scam. And I looked at my bank balance, like, travel lodge, Fulham, London, 70 quid. I was like, oh shit, you've got to be kidding me. And I thought, and then it was at this point I honestly went, this is now like 3 in the morning. You know what? Screw this. I'm going to go get like 2 or 3 hours more sleep, and I'm just going to jump in the car and go. So I literally went to bed, woke up at 5, packed a rucksack full of some clothes, and I remember throwing the rucksack in the boot of my car, and my mum coming to the front door like, where are you going? You're not working today, are you? And I was like, oh, no, I'll wait to London, I'll see you later. And just drove off. I never even explained myself, I just drove off. She says she went back up the stairs, my dad was like, what the hell's going on? What's going on? She was like, says he's away to London or something, and they just rolled over. Aye, alright, okay. Next thing you know,
went back to sleep.
Next thing you know, this is now maybe let's say 7 o'clock in the evening. I'm sending a selfie standing next to the Big Ben, like, I'm in London. I sat and I drove a little shitty Fiat Punto from Larkhall all the way down to London, which took about 8 hours. Nice. And bear in mind, this is like summertime, like one of those super hot summers where I have a car that's got no air conditioning, it only spews hot air, everything. Yeah. I was just like, oh, why not? Let's go for it. And I spent about 28 hours in London and just drove back up the road.
That's absolutely amazing. I love that so much.
I like that. That's good.
But literally the second day I got there, I'd seen like Big Ben, and I went, I need to get to bed early and go explore London the next day. So I was exploring London, and funnily enough, where I was walking from like my hotel to the travel lodge to the train station, there was this little bonnet, like an old man's bonnet lying in the pavement, and I was like, see if that is still lying there. Aye, see when if that is lying there by the time I come back to my hotel tonight, I'm taking that bonnet up the road. I don't care, I'll wash it, whatever, I'm taking it. I won't wear it, but it's going to be memorabilia. And little do you know, I came back later on, it was still lying. I was like, alright, it's mine now, and it still sits on my shelf to this day. Like, yep, that's my memorabilia.
I like it.
So you have an old man's hat that you picked up on the ground from London, just to remind you of that.
I've probably ruined a family's life. Like, it's probably been in somebody's family for 6 generations or something, and now it's just sitting on my shelf. Like, sorry, I just stole it. Sorry about
Gotta
that.
do what you gotta do. Don't you're setting yourself up here for to get charges pressed against you.
Yeah.
He'll warm his head a different way. Don't you worry. You'll find a way.
But,
Oh, that's brilliant, man.
I just got to the stage. I was like, you know what? Let's just enjoy this. Let's just go for it and see what happens. You might as well.
And that's it. Like, see, after being restricted in your life for so long, like being a person who you literally can't bring yourself to leave the house, you're in pain, you're missing school, and then when you get that moment of I'm feeling healthy, I'm feeling like I can move, I'm working, you just took it by the horns and just
I just went for it.
So we're going to move on to the next segment. So this is like a round of quick fire questions, right?
Oh boy.
So I want you to spend a very low amount of time thinking about your answers. I just want you to just like go for it. We'll go Ross first,
Oh boy.
and then Rory can follow.
Oh, I get to play.
Oh yeah, of course.
I can play.
Yeah, I'm not left out. So question number 1.
Oh boy.
Imagine you're in Asda and you have to buy dinner, but it has to be a microwave-ready meal for one. What do you go for?
Oh, easy. Chicken tikka masala. Their ready meals out of Asda are amazing. That was easy. I've done that so many times.
I was going to say that too. Chicken tikka, 100%.
Chicken tikka
So
masala,
good.
brilliant.
Yeah.
The pilau, the little, the yellow rice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pilau. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I concur. I was going to say something like that. Do you know what like really depresses me? Microwave ready meal for one lasagna.
Oh, that's depressing. Just don't
That
even.
depresses me a lot.
Oh man. If you ever see somebody eating that, you know they've not got long left on this earth, and they don't value themselves right now. You know that if you ever see somebody eating that, you go, see that guy right there, you know they're not in a good mental state.
What's wrong, pal? What's wrong? Come on, come back inside. We'll get you a chicken tikka. I'll be sound. Like, come on.
Aye. Treat yourself,
Just
pal.
go and
Come
smack
on.
it out their hand, just like, get that out of here.
Like,
Have this
even the
chicken tikka
cashiers
masala,
and even
mate.
the self-checkouts in Asda should be like, please call this number. It should be like a Samaritan's
you're buying
number
one
or
of those.
something that pops up. Like before you get your receipt, it should be a Samaritan's number that pops up.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, question number 2. You can only drink one type of alcohol for the rest of your life. What is it? And it has to be a specific brand as well.
Innocent Gun.
Innocent Gun beer.
Yep.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Innocent Gun.
I'll go for Sailor Jerry Spice Rum.
Ooh,
I can drink an insane amount of that if I put my mind to it.
if I really buckle down.
If I prep the night before, I'll be fine.
Yeah, you might want to call this number, mate.
Oh.
So you wake up tomorrow morning and the rest of the humans have disappeared off the face of the earth. What do you do?
I think I'd drive to a supercar dealership and then just take a supercar for a ride, to be honest. That'd be one of my first things I'd do.
I
Which
just
supercar?
gun it down the motorway.
Oh, shit.
100%.
What one?
Boofed.
You get no one in your way. You can
Oh,
get that thing going.
what one would it have to be? Ferrari La Ferrari. It would have to be a Ferrari La Ferrari.
Okay.
I don't
Would
know
have
if
to
it's
be.
a specific model.
What would you do, Rory?
I was going to say the same thing. Keep stealing my answers because you get to go first.
You guys have got so much in common.
I'll think of something different. I'll go to a sports arena and play by myself.
Just
I'll
get
do the
naked
crowd.
in the middle of the pitch.
I go. Well, yeah, because technically, if I went to any football stadium, I'm the best football player on the planet.
Oh, you are actually.
Yeah,
So-
that's great.
I'd do that. It's
I would
that-
go to Asda and just like fill my car with chicken tikka masalas.
How many microwaves would you steal as well, but just to get them all going at once?
I would set all the microwaves up, yeah, and cook all them tikka masala just because it's godly. But what happens? What if you were like the last person on earth, right? So like, I let's say at like 3:40 a.m., right? Everyone in the world except from you disappears like instantaneously, like that, right? So there's
What are we
people
doing,
driving.
Thanos here again, like snap of the thumbs?
Yeah, exactly. So there's people driving on the motorway at that time. So there's crashed cars everywhere. Like there's just stuff falling over. There's planes that are just like falling down, all the rest of it. And then one day, like 2 months into your adventure, just like trying to search for other humans, you go into like a shop to pick up some supplies and there's some candles that are lit
I mean, surely at that point you got nothing to lose. You're definitely investigating.
Oh, for sure.
At this point, I would have made some form of a gun, and whoever is in that shop is getting shot. That is
Why?
totally American
But
style.
they're the only one left.
Why?
That is on. Nah, fuck that, man. That's the
It might
creepiest
be
shit.
Eve. It might be Eve and you're Adam.
Oh well, I've just fucked the new universe then. Fuck that. I've just killed him.
Oh, unlucky guys. Better luck next
We're all
time.
done. Sorry, I went John Wayne on her and just like pulled my revolver out of the holster and just quick drawed on her.
So, what's your favourite word in the English language?
God, it's a deep thought. You can see it.
What is it?
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
See, there's one answer I want to give, but I know it's like I really shouldn't say that word because it's used for so many different things.
I can bleep it out if you want.
Oh, I was going to say prep the bleeper for mine.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say prep the blooper for that one
Just tell us and I'll bleep it.
because it would probably be to be honest.
Oh,
Ross, you keep stealing my
can't
answers.
even say that, mate. That is so bad.
Yeah, but it's
Stealing
like,
every
but
answer.
think about it, right? Everybody in Scotland uses it. You call
I'm
everybody a good that and a good bad guy, bad. It's everything like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Australians
yeah.
use it. It's like it's universal, and you can use it for so many things.
Rudy, you need to pick a different one now as well.
You keep taking every one of my answers before I get to say it.
I've got one question for you guys because I just thought about this when you were
Yeah.
mentioning one earlier. Once
Okay.
you figured out what your favourite word is,
Gumph. I like the word
Gumph.
gumph.
Yo, that's pure gumph, man.
It's just good because everyone always looks at you when you say gumph.
That's
Yeah.
bloody gumph.
Gumph.
Right,
Yeah, I'll go
what's-
for that.
Okay. What were you going to say, Ross?
Right, so do you know if you're in a car crash, for example, right? So if say you're in a
Yeah.
car crash, the music keeps playing when you're in a car crash.
Right.
If you're in a car crash, what song's going to be playing when you're lying there in the car as a corpse? What song's playing? Like when the paramedics, everybody turn up to your car, it's in a heap, everything. What's the song they find playing in your car?
You know that song in Tokyo Drift? Because I was just like behind the wheel and I flipped it.
Mine would be Baby Shark Dude.
He loves that song. He loves it, by the way.
What would yours be?
What would mine's be?
This is really dark, this podcast.
Yeah,
is
this
really
turned dark. This went bad.
This is awful.
Mine would probably be like Highway to Hell or something from AC/DC. Like, wow,
Nice.
that
No.
was suitable.
Jeez, mate. Right. Well, hope you enjoyed segment number 2. We've got about 5-10 minutes left. So, Ross,
Yep.
you've got some stories. I want you to
Oh,
pick
boy.
out one of your most mental stories. You've done some traveling. Give us a
mental.
rundown.
One of the most mental stories. Oh fuck. That's hard on the spot. Like, okay, so it's a Christmas night out. It's a works night. We're at a hotel. Not a free bar, but it's a pretty expensive bar. My bank account hit a hefty bill that night.
Oh boy.
And drinking quite a lot. And then I get to the stage of Secret Santa. So, me and my mate are sitting at the table, and he gets half a bottle of Buckfast, and I get half a bottle of Jger.
Yeah.
So next thing is he does the hod on the note. I'm going to go to the bar, get the energy drinks. So I'm like, okay, we'll drink Jger Bombs, drink our pints, and have Bucky. And so we had pints, Jger Bombs, Bucky, and there was 3 bottles of red wine on the table. So there was anything that you could drink, really.
Yeah.
So at this point, we are steaming. Every time you go up to the bar, somebody's giving you a shot of Sambuca, tequila, anything at the bar that's going, somebody's giving you a shot. And eventually it got to the stage, I got up, my legs just went Bambi. And I was like, oh shit, I cannot
all been there.
walk. This is bad. So eventually it got to the stage, like, I get chucked out of the full hotel. And there's still like 3 hours to go.
What time was this?
This would have been, so I think we got there 7. I don't know, might have been wrong. My memory of that night's not very good. But we got there, say 7. It's now probably 9 o'clock, and I've been chucked out for the first time. For the first
Oh, for the first time. Okay.
Not like first time as in like this is the first time I've been in this hotel and chucked out. I mean first time of the night. So I stumble my way back in. I stand outside, have a cigar, stumble back in, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, everyone at the table's like, how the fuck did he get back in? Like, they thought I was gone, like, no chance he was making it out alive. So I walk back in, same happens again, but this time I get chucked out because they seen me at the table drinking Buckfast just straight from the bottle. So it was like, okay, fair dues, I accept this time, I'll leave. I come back in about a good half an hour later, and it's like, okay, I'll keep going. And then I don't know what the third time I got chucked out for. I think it was honestly because I was like flat on my back. I could not get up. So they chucked me out again. And then the third time, I just walked back in again. It was like I never left. I never got in a taxi. I just stood outside, and I think I had like a cigarette or like a cigar or something. Like, all right, I've had my fresh air. I'm good. Let's go back inside. It's cold out here. So I walked back in, and I remember looking at the receptionist's face, just like, what the fuck? Is she still standing?
Yeah.
And it was
but no one was stopping you from coming back in.
No, this
they were
time
just like,
like,
oh, get
the
out.
bouncer like properly was coming up to get me, and the receptionist just looked at him like, there's 20 minutes left, just leave him. There's 20 minutes left, just leave him. So getting out, the lights are on, time to get home, blah blah blah. We're all sitting outside waiting in the taxi, and I am so badly steamboat, so I'm gone. Well then everybody's like trying to hold me down in the chair because I'm just like, I can walk him, this is it, I'll walk. Bear in mind, it's probably like I don't know, 2.5.
Maybe like an hour and a half.
It's a good hour and a half walk if you're sober.
Yeah.
And it's a good hour and a half walk if you're sober. And I was like, okay, right, I can walk this. And I decided to start walking. I was like, screw you guys, I'm not waiting in the taxi, I'll walk, I'm going home. I started walking, and I fell at the side of the hotel. I was like, alright, hold on. No, I'm not walking. No. Back to the front door, getting that taxi. So I decided to jump in the taxi, and then it's like, oh, hold on a minute. Nobody's here. They're all gone. My phone's dead. The hotel's shut.
No.
Okay, what did I do? I was like, sitting there, like, shouting people's names, like, please, somebody, like, in the distance, like, appear. So I was like, right, okay. I'm going to have to walk. So I started walking, and I reached, like, a big main roundabout. So
bear in mind this is motorways, so like
this roundabout
these are big roads.
This roundabout connects like four towns pretty much, and is the main link to the M74 motorway, which is like the busiest motorway that leads you straight down south to England. So there's trucks, everything that go by this motorway, and I started walking. I got near the road, and all of a sudden my knees started to go again, like full on Bambi. I was like, oh shit. And I was on the road at this point, and I was like, oh no, I need to get to that roundabout, get to the grass. If you fall, you can get back up. So I get to the roundabout, I fall. Now we're at like 3 in the morning or something, I don't know. It's taken me like an hour to walk what would normally take a sober person 10 minutes. I fall on the roundabout, and it's just like, I can't get up. Nah, stuff this. I'm going to bed. I'm lights out. I've had enough. So I fall asleep, and I wake up about 5:30 or something to like a trucker gone by blasting the horn, because he must have thought he'd honestly seen a dead body on the roundabout. He must have thought he'd seen one.
That's the worst alarm clock ever.
Oh, a truck's horn going off, it's the worst thing on the planet. And literally, I could just hear him like kind of screaming, like, you're right, just like whatever. I remember just doing like the mediocre, just like faces in the ground and just holding up one arm, just like thumb up in the air. Like, didn't say a word, just like the thumb up in the air. I was like, I guess he's alive. So I remember walking home, getting into the house for like probably 7:15. I get in, jumped into bed. It's now like 7:20, and I get a text from my boss going like, you ready? I'm coming to pick you up in 25 minutes. We're going to work. Because it was a training day for like a brand new like building we were opening. It was a training day, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, aye, okay, I'll be ready.
Here we go.
And I remember walking into the hall where we were doing the training, and the woman was like this. She just handed me a pillow, and I was like, why are you handing me a pillow? I was like, last night you pulled me aside, because we invited the trainer to this like team's night out, and she said, no. Last night you pulled me aside, and you ended up saying to me, you were steaming, and you said to me, your words, I'm going to need a pillow tomorrow at this training day. You better bring one, because I'm putting my head in that desk. Next thing you know, I walk in, and she just gave me the pillow. That full training day, my head was just on the desk. Like, I was done. And then, honestly, that story still lives on. And, like, this little shop circuit, just pretty much, like, if you got a team meeting somewhere, it's like, oh, did you hear about, like, 4 years ago now when that guy, like, chucked out that hotel and slept around about it? And it's like, I'd go to these meetings, like, I know that guy.
That was me.
I'm that guy.
Don't mean Brian, guys. That was me. That was me.
I am that guy.
Have you heard the legend of Ross, the roundabout Ross?
Aye, pretty much. But
Brilliant.
one as well that I can think of that's pretty stupid, but it's quick. Do you remember, Ryan, when we had that team night out? But I like didn't go to my own works. I came to like yours, and we went to that hotel. And at the end of the night, I bought everybody a Jger Bomb and went to turn round and dropped the full fucking tray.
Oh,
So me and Ross were talking at this Christmas night out, right? And it was in another hotel, a fairly expensive one. So the drinks were not cheap.
No.
And Ross, I remember distinctly you were talking to me. You said, relationships is what matter. Money comes and goes. It's the memories. And the relationships that you build, And then you turned around and you just like made a beeline for the bar. And you get to the bar and they're like, yep, what can I get you? You're like, how many folk are here? 14. I'll have 14 Jger Bombs, please. Put it on this card. And the guy's like, right, okay.
Somehow the card got accepted. That was a strange part.
Must have been, at least like 70. I don't know how much it was a Jger Bomb, like five quid.
That must have been.
oh no.
So you're talking like 70, 80 quid,
easy,
something like that.
Easy.
And then you turn round and you're like, I've got you all Jger Bombs. Trips and just smashes them all on the floor.
I think honestly, there was like 2 that I hadn't sat on the tray, and I literally just turned around and went, oh, okay. And I just had the 2 Jger Bombs that were at the bar myself.
And so to round this off, how are you getting on like these days with sort of your Crohn's and stuff like that?
Absolutely magic. These days it's a breeze. I've literally just got to the stage of life. It's like, it's like what you just said there. I see more satisfaction out of money in terms of I get a bigger buzz out of using my money to see other people be happy. So for example, like that with this 14 Jger Bombs that nobody ever seen and it hit the floor, even though it cost 80 quid. Think about it, even though we never drank it, that's a hilarious memory. So I'd rather use it that way. I would honestly rather use my money to help other people. It's better. Money comes and goes, so use it where you can. I get the point, we have to save money, we have to build a future, but don't get into a rut of like, I need to save so much money that I'm never going to use it or see it. Use it while you can, while you get the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a good message. And I think whenever these situations arise, when you have to make a decision like, oh, will I spend this money, will I not? I always think of the conversations that we've had and how your outlook has been just create memories while you are fit and healthy and young enough. And build relationships with your friends. It's the most important thing. Yeah. But also, don't gamble all your money away because then you won't. Don't turn into gambling. Do that then. Yeah, that's bad. Don't do that. Don't do that. Unless you're guaranteed to make a profit, do not do it. Yeah. So, Ross, thank you. We'll round it off there. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been fantastic hearing all your stories and your trials and tribulations. Well, that's what I mean. I could honestly talk for about 4 hours if it came to my stories at this point. That's the problem. So I'm trying to cherry pick the good ones at this point. Brilliant. So thanks everyone for listening. From all of us at Idiots Anonymous, me and Rory and Ross, thanks for coming on, and we'll catch you in the next episode.